Hello there. So I thought I'd say something a little bit more about Pearls of Juggling. Why did I write this book? Well, basically because I was looking for a book that would help me go from sort of like nerdy technical juggling into more artistic movement. So I took tons of dance lessons, all kinds, tons of theatre lessons. I even went to a physical theatre school in Switzerland for 3 years. The military school, amazing experience. Learned tons of things to be able to make something that what didn't exist before. Something that was for jugglers, because all this the theatre schools, even the Dimitri school, they don't really understand jugglers. I don't think even in circus schools they really understand jugglers. I understand jugglers because I am one, right? And so this book goes through. I'm just going to read through the contents of it, right? It goes through basically what starts with the joy of juggling. Juggling is joy. It brings joy. That's the most important thing. And we start going and the many benefits around the joy of juggling. It's going to go through a very high view of Pearls of Juggling, and we have to go into creativity. What is creativity? What is inspiration? How to look after ourselves and make sure we're not getting injuries, improving our training. I have done a huge and ongoing yoga and Tai Chi training to understand all these things for my juggling, essentially. I mean, it's for me too, right? I mean, I don't want to separate myself from my juggling, even though, I don't really throw my hands up in the air. Anyway, let's not be silly anymore. And then there's 2 chunky chapters on juggling and movement. And this is, I'd say the motor of this book is this juggling and movement thing. We find it very hard to know how to move with juggling. We feel very awkward with it. And this just takes us through it. From the first steps, talking with movement quality. And then stopping or not stopping. Because music as well, if we don't ever stop music, the dramatic pauses, or anything, that was a dramatic pause just there, right? We don't have any pauses, then it just all becomes a big blurry mess. So stops are really important for our juggling, and also makes it more fun to do. It makes us feel more like we're sculpturing it. We're more... flow is also really cool, But anyway, you get the idea. Juggling and acting. How to act with juggling without it being really fake. Hard work, It's really hard work to act without being fake as a juggler. But it's not so much about you, it's about the context that you build around yourself, your imaginary scenery, making solid decisions. You're not just a generic dude or dudette on stage. Even if I'm just Anthony the juggler, I'm Anthony the juggler on stage. I'm not Anthony who when he does his computer work or whatever. I'm Anthony the performer, and I have all my ideas about who this is, and this is already the biggest step in acting, right? Juggling comedy, we want to laugh. If people laugh, then you're going to get paid more as well as a juggler, right? Who doesn't want to have fun? Anyway, and the next book, Drops, it was the first chapter I wrote in this book about drops. And it just goes when we go on stage, for example, the first 10 minutes or so, 5 minutes, is when we have our mega boost of adrenaline. And in that mega boost of adrenaline, our hands are shaky, everything's really difficult to juggle. So it's a really tricky one. And we have to bear this in mind and be just like mega prepared. And then the music and musicality, working with music. Just the basics. I mean, it's a pretty good basics, but it's understanding how to use juggling and music, and not just put a track on the bass. What is this piece telling me? How can I work with it best? How can I create my own music that supports my act, or supports my practice, of course, right? Then we go to sequences and routines and whole shows. How to come from a more creative perspective that feels good to us, and it's not just doing it because I'm being paid for, put a bit more heart into our work, let's say. And then performing. And then in this hardback edition, which is beautiful, There's a lot of bonus articles about fluid juggling, juggling and playfulness, the flow state, Tai Chi and yoga and philosophy. And yeah, I recommend fully this book, Pearls of Juggling. Of course, I wrote it, right? But it was for me. I wrote this book for younger me, and I really hope it'll be of huge value and use to you as a juggler. And it's full of the most incredible illustrations. I worked with a comic school. It's a bit hard for me to do this at the same time, but I worked with a comic school for 6 months, getting the illustrations down to a T. This whole operation was crowdfunded, and here you can see all the different characters going on here. This is for the juggling acting session, chapter rather. Cool, that's me over and out. And yeah, my intention is to bring more videos to this channel, Pearls of Juggling. And what would you, if you've read the book, Pearls of Juggling, what would you like to know more of? What would you like me to talk about a bit more in these videos? If you put that in a comment, then yeah, I can make things that are useful for everybody. So that's me out for now, and catch you again soon. Oh, last but not least, I have a juggling teachers workshop, training workshop coming up just before Easter this year. It's from Tuesday till Saturday, from the 31st of March until the 4th of April. I believe that's the date. Anyway, check it, Tuesday till, and I do these every year. So this video will be there for like ever, right? So check out Pearls of Juggling, or write a comment here and I'll get back to you. Yeah.